Paragraph and think, wonder what that was about. I read every word and I know nothing. That's because my mind was somewhere else. Okay? So we want the reader to be metacognitive. Then, moving around the circle, around the triangle, are three essential ingredients for creating reader. One is the role of the reader. What does the reader know about him or herself? Habits of mind are essential. How do I help the reader access prior knowledge? The situation in which reading takes place. I always like to share my daughter as an elementary K-6 teacher. She's taught 2nd, 3rd, and 6th grade. Okay? Her environment, because she had all full inclusion, and that's how they do it in the district where she is. She had two students with Asperger's. She had one student who was, I forget the label, it was more behavior than anything. Okay. And what she learned about working with those students is the desks that they had just did not work for all of them. So she got rid of them. She cut legs off the tables, and as a matter of fact, in the yellow book, there is a picture from her classroom, and she allowed the children to make the decision as to what was best for them. You know, her student who, is it page 62? Yeah, page 62. Her student who, I can't say what, I can't remember what, it doesn't matter. He just really struggled learning around other kids. So she allowed him to sit by himself. Not that he didn't do group things, but for reading and learning, sometimes he had his own spot. Okay. Some kids needed to sit on a ball. They just had that constant movement. So she had them on a ball by their desk. And so different environment, that's all part of the context, the situation in which reading takes place. And I think we really did a good job when we rewrote this section on context, because we really brought in a lot of different needs of kids. Kids who are a high attention deficit, they can't look at so much on a page. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know where to focus, okay? And then the third interactive reading ingredient is text. Structure, we talked about that. Is it narrative? Is it informative? And we know the Common Core is hitting informative really hard. Vocabulary, and we're going to take a strong look at vocabulary today. Format, and those are all the features within a book, or if it's in a book or digital. It doesn't matter, because we have both of them at our fingertips today. And paying close attention to all those visuals, the graphics, the maps, the illustrations, how it's organized on the book. And then the last is the readability piece. Okay. Now, the frame for the graphic are principles of learning. And chapter 2 in your book talks about 8 principles of learning that work, affect, belong in all content areas at all grade levels. It's what we know about the learning process today. And so, and we have principles of learning outlined in both books, and my intention of that was, in the yellow book, the strategic reading book, all the connections are made to reading regarding the principles of learning. In the strategies book, all the connections are made to strategies you can choose from, examples of strategies you can choose from to highlight that particular principle of learning. So let's say if you're really working on before, during, the thinking, before, the thinking during, and the thinking after. Okay? That's a principle of learning that's huge. For a long time in literacy, in reading, especially in the content areas, we didn't do much about the thinking before or the thinking during. We just waited until the end with the questions at the end of the by then the party's over, the light's out, it's way too late. We missed it, okay? We know about the importance of before, the importance of during. And as you work on close reading today, that before, I mean during is huge.